Hi guys, and welcome back to our channel. I'm Lindsay, the fiber alchemist here at Reservoir Fibers. I like to call myself a fiber alchemist because I feel like it is sort of an alchemy. So, speaking of alchemy, a consistent spin. We're doing a video on how to do a consistent spin throughout your bobbin to have the same weight yarn throughout the whole time you're spinning it. And in order to actually have that click in my mind, I had to look at wool under a microscope to understand what was exactly going on. So I got some printouts here for you guys. This is what wool looks like at a microscopic level, sort of cut in half, and then they show you all the parts. But as you can see, it's got these scales on it, and those scales are your best friend when you're spinning. See? That's what it looks like under a microscope. And these scales are the reason that you can felt it together, etc. So when you're spinning the yarn, these scales sort of, when you get that twist going in the fiber that you have, those scales help latch on to the other fibers and pull them out for you. So you end up with a consistent length of yarn. You want to let it kind of pull itself out. So I'll show you what I mean when I'm spinning on my wheel, but I just wanted to get down to the microscopic level of things so maybe it will click for you. Picture it like it sort of has teeth, and the teeth grab on, and while it's spinning it pulls more out for you. So I'll show you on the wheel how I'm doing it. I prepped this. I'm spinning with a comb top that I prepped myself. I blended alpaca from a woman's farm. This is actually a custom yarn that I'm spinning for a woman with her alpaca fiber that she sent from her farm. But I blended that with 18.5 micron merino wool, cashmere, mulberry silk, and a hint of pearl infused rose fiber. And I blended that all on my combs together until it was a consistent color, because I didn't want it to have like, oh, some alpaca in this part of the yarn and more mulberry silk in that part of the yarn. I wanted it consistent throughout. So I did a few passes on my combs, and then I made comb top out of it, and I started spinning it on my wheel. And I started posting pictures about it online, and everyone was asking me how I got my yarn so consistent. It's been a lot of practice. It's been 2 years of practicing this and, getting really down to the nitty-gritty scientific reasons of things. And the one thing that did make it actually finally click when I first started spinning was finding out what wool actually looked like under a microscope and why we're able to spin it the way we can. And these scales are why. It's also why you can felt it. So I'll get to the spinning part of the video now. This was just a little introduction to show you, but yes, remember, these scales are your best friend, and I'll go in more about that on combing and stuff in another video, but right now we're just going to do spinning. So consistent spin with consistent color and a consistent weight throughout. I'm going to show you how right now. Hey guys, and welcome to part 2 of our video. I'm going to show you the prep that I'm using right now. I'm doing a worsted prep for a worsted yarn, a true worsted yarn, for it to be smooth and sleek and make a nice lace weight. And how I'm doing that is I previously got the alpaca, the merino, the cashmere, the silk, and the pearl infused rose fiber, and I blended it together on my Fancy Kitty drum carder. Now I'm using my super fine Valkyrie combs, and I'm going to make comb top. And I've been adding little bits and pieces, a little more cashmere, a little more silk, a little bit more alpaca, to make sure it's got enough alpaca in there for her. So I've just been taking my fiber and I've been putting it on my combs. You just can't overpack these. And I've just been doing a few passes so it all becomes blended together, so it's a nice uniform color. this should be good. This might actually be a little overloaded. So we're going to start combing this and make sure we get a nice uniform color. Now I'm going to speed this up. So now that it's all blended, we're going to pull it off of the comb. And now we have this comb top that we can spin. And now we're going to get to spinning. So this is what we're going for consistency wise, not only in just the weight of the yarn, but the color itself. Everything's been blended together nicely, so we have a nice uniform color, and we have uniformity of the yarn weight itself. So if I was to pull up any of these strands, they would always measure 40 wraps per inch. As you can see, that's 40 wraps per inch right in that slot. And I would suggest getting a spinner's control card like this. They have many different kinds. This will help you achieve a uniform spin as you're spinning, because you can check and control the weight of your spin as you're going and make sure that you're spinning at the same weight throughout. I got this from Hip Strings on Etsy, and I would recommend getting one. It's worked well for me. But yes, this is what we're going for in the video. A nice, consistent yarn, not only in weight, but in color as well. Okay, so spinning a consistent yarn. I've got my top. I've already been spinning for a while now. But, okay, here we go. So, I'm holding my finger at the point of twist just to keep it from getting up into the fiber too much. And as you can see, I'm kind of drafting backward and letting it pull out the fiber it needs to keep that same weight going. So I'm not really doing much. I'm letting the tension do a lot of the work for me and pull that fiber towards the orifice. And I'm just smoothing it down with my finger. So if you pull out a little bit, just pull back, and you'll get that nice, consistent strand of yarn going. You'll find that sweet spot where you can just pull and it will pull that strand out for you, as you can see. Just pulling it out. And we'll check with our control card. We're still at 40 wraps per inch, so we're still doing good. And you just keep going, just like that. And kind of pull the fiber out on its own. smooth it down with your fingers and make a nice smooth worsted yarn. You can see those fibers getting pulled towards the orifice. And that's how you maintain consistency throughout spinning when you're spinning your singles. And again, this is a worsted prep, so it's not really something that you could long draw on because of the prep that's used, but if you want a true worsted yarn, really smooth and beautiful yarn, this is the way to go. And I'm barely even holding on, really. I'm not really pinching too hard with my fingers. I'm letting it grab those other fibers and pull them along with that strand of yarn. And you'll feel it twist in your fingers when it twists up. Use our spinner's control card. Make sure we're spinning consistently. There we go. So that is the end of our tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this helps you, and I hope you're able to get a consistent yarn with your single after watching this. Thanks for stopping by, guys.